Hello, it's Blair here. Just wanted to do a wee introduction to this podcast and what it is and why it was set up. What inspired us to actually think that we could do something on and record it. We had a Facebook page which was a Kirkcaldy Reminiscing page, which attracted a whole load of different people on Facebook. And lots of different wee comments coming in about Kirkcaldy, about the past and, what people remembered. And we felt it would be quite good to give people the opportunity to come together. I had previously been meeting with my brother and sister on a weekly basis, and we talked about a whole range of topics. We hadn't always kept in touch when we were growing up and, through different relationships and different marriages and being abroad and all the rest of that. So when we were meeting, we really talked about the past, but got talking about Kirkcaldy, about all the differences that we had seen. I was born and brought up in Commercial Street in Kirkcaldy, and in 1944 I was born. So in terms of the differences in Kirkcaldy, they're quite vast. But things like the co-op, and that we stayed right across for the co-op bakery, and at that time the bread wagons were horses and carts, and they came for the bakehouse at the back, and the carts came through the pen, as we called them. They came through the pens and they rattled across the cobbles, but we stayed in a flat just across for the pen, so you were waking up early every morning with these carts trundling across the cobblestones. But we talked about that, but we talked about other things, and we thought, right, let's open this up a wee bit. So we started meeting some of the folk from the Facebook page on a monthly basis, which was great fun. Lots of different topics that people came in with that they wanted to talk about and wanted other people to join in with that conversation. And the idea then, it became quite apparent that people had lots to say and lots of wee stories to talk about. But we wanted to do something that we could record it, because we felt there's so many stories of the history of Kirkcaldy, about Adam Smith and about Michael Nairn and about all the famous people and famous places, but never anything that talked just about the ordinary working man, what happened in our streets, what happened in the parks, what happened on the beaches. Very little talking about that. And that's going to be lost if we didn't talk about it. We could all talk about it with our kids, but then our kids sometimes aren't that interested at the time anyway. And they will often say, as my kids have said to me, you never told us about this, or, we would like to know what you did. So we felt, well, let's look at how we could do that. We thought about a book. But a book was going to be really quite costly to do, and to a large extent quite prohibitive for people, because it was going to be expense that they would have to lay out. So the idea came up that maybe the college, Fife College, would be interested in getting a student involved who was involved in doing the media studies course, and maybe helping us to actually put a podcast together where we could record what we were doing, but it was going to be widely publicised and widely made public. So it could be played in centres where there's like elderly people meeting, who might be stimulated into discussing or talking about their own childhood. And, people that have got dementia, for example, where a lot of their memories need that wee bit of stimulation. So if we could record some of our stories, then it would maybe help other people. So we thought, right, we'll meet the college, and they were in agreement, and we got a student who meets with us, who is now just through the second month, But we meet in the college and we've got a quiet space where we can enjoy a cup of coffee, but most of all, just enjoy a blether. We've talked about things like the pageant and local walks. When we were kids, we were walking, but it was walking because there was no other form of transport. Very few people had cars, so you're relying on public transport, which again wasn't that often that you got a bus. Buses were quite expensive too, and just after the war there wasn't a lot of money. But it was things like that we felt we needed to get out there and get people talking about, get people thinking about. But more than anything, just to get people to celebrate Kirkcaldy for what it has been. People now, there's very little that goes on in Kirkcaldy where you could say that's worth talking about. Not to us anyway. What we remember is the high street that was absolutely milling with people all the time. Shopping centre was a hive of industry, and all the industry that went on at that time, which is now just about non-existent. There's small industries, but nothing to speak about. Anyway, that's a wee bit of an introduction, but these podcasts are going to go out hopefully on a regular basis, that people will be able to chip into and just, have a listen and enjoy it, please, and just talk about it. Thanks for listening to this one, and we'll put up photographs to go with it, just so that you'll know what we're talking about.